Hi everyone, this is Glenn Fleury from Boardgames and Bourbon. Right now, we are going to talk about a game called Ilois, Battle for Troy. This is by Playford Games, and this is an abstract game. It is themed after the Trojans and stuff like this, and you're battling. It's a two-player game. You're battling against each other. You're trying to move your pieces, convert the pieces around you to your color. You're trying to capture the pieces and ultimately win the game by being the most captured. So in that way, it's a twist on like Go and Othello and this stuff like that. A little bit of checkers mixed in there as well, but it is very simple to understand. And I will show you how it plays and then tell you the rest of the details. Okay? Boom. Okay, so what I've done here is I've set up the board a little bit to show you how to play it. There's really not that complicated rules in the game. And so I've kind of set up the board to give us like a mid-game turn, which really explains it. But as far as setup goes, what's going to happen is you're going to choose your own color. In this game, I'm playing as two people, orange player and green player, but there's also purple and there's blue if you want more players. Each player is going to grab 4 tiles in the game, or excuse me, 3 tiles in the game. This one says 4, and those are your starting pieces. In the center of the board, you're going to put something called an Iron Age weapon. And why does it say 10? I have no idea. I've seen no clarification why that says 10, but there it is. And that's basically the piece that you build off of in the game. And the way it works is when you pick something, like let's say this number 4, you'll notice it says 4 and that there's 4 little spiky things on it. And that 4 means it attacks in 4 directions. And wherever you put it, it has to be pointing at an enemy piece. So let's say I'm the orange player. I cannot put it here because I'd be pointing at my own piece. I could put it someplace that points at my opponent, the green, or at the iron weapon, okay? So in this case, let's just pretend I was the green player. I put that down. It was pointing at my Iron Age piece. I take it over. Okay, now let's suppose it's the orange player's go. This is kind of where the twist of the game comes in. You're going to take your number 4 piece. I pull this out of my bag of 3. I put this down over here, and now that's attacking 4 directions. So I am orange. Boop. My orange is pointing at an opponent, which is green. So I'm going to normally take this piece. Now, let me just show you in general what would happen. When I point at somebody, I would take it, and that would become my color, okay? You want pieces to be more your color because it gives you the more chance of being captured. However, in this very specific instance, something interesting happens, and this is the twist of the game. I put down my piece. It's pointing at a green. However, because the green is now fully encircled, the green is going to remain on the board, and the center tile goes to the green player, and they are the ones who gets the point for being surrounded. Okay, that's how that works, which is interesting. And anyway, suffice it to say, once you score a tile, you drop down the green piece on the board of whomever took that point. Why do you do that? You do that because in the event you have a tie of ownership of scoring tiles, then what you do is you count how many colors are on the board, and then that becomes the winner. It's a very fast game. Turns go quickly, and then once you play tile, you're going to reach in your bag. You're going to pick up another piece. Now that's my new piece, and that's it. Just keeps going, okay? Now what you're going to notice is as I put down that piece, and I'm trying to pick it back up, these pieces shift around a bit. That becomes a little bit of a pain when the board is really big and pieces in general are kind of flopping around a bit. So the game can get a little messy, but the parts are sturdy, so they're not really a big deal. But you'll notice like when I try to go like that, stuff gets hit around. And you'll notice the board moves around a lot as you're picking up pieces. So be it, okay? Okay, so now let's just talk about how the game is and the scores for it. Okay, so first of all, build quality of the game. That's going to get an 8 out of 10. And I say that because although the components are minimal, they're all nice and sturdy. You know, you get 100,000 wooden little pegs here, saturated colors. It's nice to have wood. You get your tiles over here. The tiles are nice and thick cardboard. They're not going anywhere. They give you these little satchels to carry all your pieces in. They're nice and big so you can get your hand in there. The board itself is designed, if I can grab it, to look like it's leather esque. And so that's pretty nice as well. Okay, so that gets 8 out of 10. The art in the game is very minimal. The most art in the game is on the box, and that was made by the creator himself. Okay, now with that, the tokens themselves and the art that's on the tokens is mainly just functional art. It's telling you what direction you're moving in. Like, so for in the case of this piece, it says 4, and it's showing you 4 sides, and it says 4. It's just functional. It's an abstract game. So that gets, 7 out of 10 is not bad art. It's clear, and you understand why, but it doesn't need to be robust, so that's fine. The rule book. The rules do not have that many instructions. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 pages of instructions. And somehow in those 3 pages of instructions, there are things that are confusing. There's really not many rules in this game. Move a piece that's pointing at your opponent, and if you surround somebody, whomever is surrounded scores the point, and that's really all there is to it. But sometimes in here it doesn't always say what you're supposed to do. Some of the pieces are oddly labeled. It says, for instance, there's 40 warriors in this game, and it lists what they are, and then somewhere else it says there's 6 warriors. What? Which one is it? It says use the back of an expansion that looks like this certain tile here as a wasteland, but the back of the tiles don't have that. So is it still the same game? The dimensions of the board are not what's listed in here. Then it says put out certain pieces, you and your opponent, assuming it's 1 each, but then there's way more than that. And so, just little things like that. I don't think it really changes the technique of the game. Most of the instructions, 5 out of 10. On my piece of paper here, I say that I'll give it 6 out of 10. Okay. Gameplay, simple, clear. The hardest part about this when you're playing is that, you're trying to move the pieces and get a little messy. So that gets 7 out of 10, but overall, this is a very solid entry into the introductory world of abstract games. So if you're looking for something and you have experience in Go and Othello and checkers like that, I think this is a worthwhile thing to check out. This is Ilois, Battle for Troy by Playford Games, and it's out right now. So, okay, look that up. See, that's for you guys. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.